rushing to safety. Hundreds of civilians who've been trapped in Gaza for weeks finally able to escape through the Rafah crossing into Egypt. Among them, some of those injured in Israel's bombardment of Gaza, retaliation for a brutal attack by Hamas against Israeli civilians. Foreign and dual nationals as well, a list that included names from many countries, but none from Canada. For Canadians still trapped in Gaza, the waiting is unbearable.
I received an email from Global Affairs saying that there is no confirmation as to when we can leave.
Asya Mathkour has been trying to leave Gaza with her 2 young children. As communications in the besieged territory suffered yet another failure, she sent a series of voice messages to CBC News.
It's very, very honestly disappointing, and it saddens me to see that we were not a priority to leave, with just like the other countries, the other nationalities were able to leave.
Canada's ambassador to Egypt sat down for an interview in Cairo just hours after the border opened. When do you think that's going to happen? When are we going to see Canadians getting out of Gaza?
I hope, the sooner the better, to be very frank with you.
He cautions against reading too much into the fact Canadians weren't on that first list.
I think, we're not passing judgment on the selection of the countries, but one could say, to a certain degree, maybe it was a trial. There's the number of countries that were on the list were countries that did not necessarily have a great number of individuals. In the case of Canada, we have a fairly large number of people of interest. So I think that's why we saw these first countries being on the list.
The ambassador says Canada's job in the coming days is to be in contact with Egypt, Israel, and anyone else deciding who gets out of Gaza.
We want to be invited to the party as well. So hopefully in the next few days, I'm not saying that I'll be successful, but one thing for sure, I'll try my darnest to be. And over the next few days, the proof will be in the pudding, and hopefully we'll be able to welcome those Canadians.
For now, more than 400 Canadians and their dependents are among those waiting for word, any word, of when they can make it to safety.
So, Tom, we're hearing that there are hundreds more people coming through tomorrow, and Americans are likely expected on that list?
Yeah, that's right. The Americans seem to be being a little more specific and a little more immediate in their, looking at the situation at the Rafah crossing and when their people are going to be going out. As you heard from the ambassador, Canada's being a little more tentative, hoping that this is going to happen in the next few days, but we're going to have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. For people stuck in Gaza, though, you got to think that's frustrating. They want to get out, and they want to get out now.
Yeah, so many do. All right, thank you, Tom. We will speak with you again later in the show about your experience at that border with Gaza.